So having worked with the canning needle for a while now, we will never go back to going sequentially steps 1, 2, 3, 4 anymore. It just saves so much time and effort. So we've got the seat removed from this beautiful taunet bentwood rocker using bar clamps on the side in order to give it some stability. All right, so we're going to be laying in steps 1 and 3 at the same time. First opportunity to do a no knot tie off here. So I pulled the tail end up and I'm going to bring this strand over the top of it underneath. Now that this strand's loop is capturing this tail, it's not going anyplace. And eventually we'll be able to cut those off. From here on out, I'm going to continue to my right. Here's the new strand that I'm putting in, and the loop that it makes will trap the end of the loop I was using previously. So now I've got a new long strand to work with and 0 tie-offs. So there we've got this one captured. So I'm ready to start and move to my left now. All right, we laid in the vertical pairs. Did decide to split the pairs at the top here where the holes were a little closer together. It's nice when it does work out symmetrically. So these guys, the tails from the no knot method, we can cut those off and get them out of the way. You just want them flush or a little bit below. Notice I've got a lot of long strands. These are going to be great to jump right into the weaving steps 2 and 4. Let's talk canning needles first. There's several out there. We have our favorites. Let's start with the round canning needle. You have a hole at the end here. The profile on this is round. It gets tight quick as you're moving up the pattern. There's only the loop on one end. And we do really like to use this, especially for shaker tape. It makes for a great pushing tool. We have an antique canning needle that has a little hook on the end, and it has a little smaller profile. It's kind of an oval shape, and it's thinner, which makes it easier to weave through and pull through the pattern. But again, just one hook on one side. And then we have what is called a steamer, and this is a flat canning needle. It's made from spring steel. The point makes it good for weaving. It's bendy, so if you have a curve, you can follow the curve. It has a hole on either end, so you can weave through and pull from either direction. So the flat steamer comes in 2 different sizes. So for the backs of rockers that are quite a bit longer, the longer steamer is great. The shorter one works for most of your standard seats. The shorter ones are available through us. The short ones and the long ones are available through Peerless Rattan as well. Now we're going to work on the horizontal pairs, and they go exactly opposite to each other. So I'm here with this strand, that this is the first pair it's going to intersect. So I'm over the first, under the second. I'm going to work myself across the pattern, going over the first and under the second strand. And I like this pushing down method and with kind of the point curved upward, but it's however you can get it done. I'm headed into this hole, so that's the last pair that I need to come over. I like to use a hole and put the strand in, and then it automatically kind of bends it. Shiny side is up, and when you go to pull through, pull like you mean it. So I've got the bottom, now I need the top part of the pear. I'm going to come through, and where I was under last time, I'm over. So I'm over the left, under the right. I like to work from what I consider this is the high side because it's under, and this is the low side. I like to work from the high side because it's easier for me to push down. But again, however you can make it happen. Once you get the hang of it, you really can cruise. So we got the second strand. So this strand coming out of this hole is the top of this pear. Already threaded through, just a matter of, let's do that. There, bend it back, and pull like you mean it. By doing the needle method, you're able to really do a lot of organizing of the grid as you go. I have a pair of horizontal strands. Now it's time to move to the next hole. You're always, when you're threading the needle through, going the opposite to what you did last time. Good, and pull through. I think I missed one down here. That was easy to make a mistake, easy to skip one by accident. So, but it's also easy to fix it. Go back and pull the needle out and start again. I've got this guy pinned to keep it out of the way, although it's trying to get in the way even more. Another spot that's really easy to make a mistake is forgetting which strand you're using. Grabbing this guy coming out of this hole versus the top of this horizontal pair. So we have these fantastic combs that were donated by a colleague of ours. Didn't like them at first, love them now. They come in a lot of different sizes, and you size them up depending on the size of your pattern. Someone on the cane and wicker restoration Facebook group ordered a bunch of these from France. So you might search that group. Unlike when you're weaving sequentially, steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and step 4, it would be difficult to use a really long strand, but you can use a really long strand and get way far up the seat. So now that we're really comfortable moving in one direction, we're going to ramp up the difficulty a little bit and come from both directions. So here we are, the bottom strand has to go through this first pair, but the top strand doesn't. That does make it a little tricky, but I warned you. Pull 2 strands through at the same time, halving the amount of effort. And I backed this one out because it's not going through this last pair. Now I have the top of this pair in and the top of this pair in with only one caning needle stroke. And so we've got the tail that's being captured by the running weaver strand. And the thing to check for is make sure that this guy isn't trying to back up on you. If it doesn't move, you're in good shape. If it moves, it means that the loop that you're capturing with slid off a little bit. The top of that pair and the top of this pair. Now we'll do the bottom. So now I'm set up to run the bottom of a new horizontal pair and the bottom of this horizontal pair that I've started to lay in previously. The important thing as you're setting this up is to have both strands coming from the same direction. So the bottom of this pair goes through the last. The bottom of this pair does not. So hopefully that using the needle will help save you some time and some effort.